It's 9:30 in the morning on Monday, December 2nd, and going to a new road here. I woke up, it was freezing. There's frost and stuff outside. But today's supposed to be in the 60s, so it's going to be a warm day. No, I don't want you guys jumping. My goodness. Go around like everybody, like civilized people. No. Anyways, you can see the cows and the sheep knocked over my minerals. They just knocked it over. I guess they don't like it. Maybe I shouldn't give it to them anymore. Just give them the salt block and be done with it. But yeah, so this road's kind of special because it would have gone through the pond. And I don't have those special kind of posts you can put in the water and they stick in the water. I don't think such things exist yet, but you know, if you want to make some money, show me how you can get a post that I can put in the water. But anyway, so I made like an L shape at the end there. Once I get to the pond, it's going to stop and we'll start a new row. And then we're going to go behind the pond in the next row or around it or something. But I'm pretty happy with what they did in this row. Let's just kind of compare with the previous row. They did a lot of grazing in the far end, which I'm pretty pleased with. When I came here, a lot of the animals were in the far end on the east side there. But let's do a compare and contrast. There we go. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but on this side, starting about at that second post there, so after the first move, it's like they just left a lot more grass behind. They moved the mower up by half an inch or an inch. So there's a lot more grass to regrow. Not that I'm going to get any more regrowth this year with the Bermuda grass, but you know, for next year. But you can kind of see here, there's almost a line that I can see. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll just hold the camera here for a while so you can try to see what I'm looking at. And let's look down the fence line again. And yeah, it looks like I just did a better job of leaving stuff behind. Maybe I could have taken more. Maybe I could have spent a little more time in this row, be a little bit more focused on the western end, and had less grass left behind. I don't know. But given the temperatures, I mean, we're in December now, and the forecast is 50s and 60s. A couple of days it's going to get like 48, 49 as a high. There's going to be several days where it's going to be a hard freeze. It's going to drop down like 27, which that's the temperature pipes start freezing and hoses start freezing and stuff like that if you leave them outside. So there's a possibility the water will freeze, but the daytime is going to be like 48, 50 on those days. So it's going to thaw. There shouldn't be any problems in my system. They can freeze as much as they want. That's one of the things that I tried to get, was a system that is tolerant to freezes, you know. So yeah, even here in Northeast Texas, we get freezes. It gets cold sometimes. Not like places further to the north and inland, but it does get cold from time to time. And yeah, so still no reason to use hay yet. Still plenty of grass. Okay, big news update. I'm going to try to walk you guys through this. The magic number is December 9th. That's next Monday. Okay, I said number, it's a date, but whatever. So I read carefully the Sheep 201 article on rams, and there's a section they have on the ram effect. And the rules for the ram effect is if the ewes have not smelled a ram, a mature ram, for 5 weeks, and I think the author of the article says just do 6 weeks to be sure, right? And a ram appears, it could be a castrated ram, so it could be a wether, right? As long as they're mature, right? The ewes will kind of all synchronize their heats, right? And so in 3 to 4 days, they're going to do what he calls a silent heat, right? Where the rams, they can't detect it, so they're not going to be able to breed the sheep. I don't know. I don't even think they can get lucky. You know, they just happen to stumble on a ewe that's in heat and they happen to do the deed, but that's not going to happen, right? However, 18 days, and I don't know if it's 18 days after those first 3 days or 18 days after the rams are introduced. I'm going to assume it's 18 days after the rams are introduced. If I'm wrong, then I'll be off by 3 days, okay? 18 days after that, a good number of the ewes are going to go into their first heat, okay? And you should get the ram to breed about 60% of them, assuming the ram can get to all the sheep, right? So, and then I think at 25 days, so a week after that, the rest of the ewes will all go into heat. So you're going to get 18 and 25 days. And then add, I think it's 17 days is their cycle. And so that means like 34 and 42 or something like that. No, 35 and 42 or something like that is the second heats. And each heat cycle, there's a 60% chance they get bred, right? So 40% of the ewes missed the first chance. They didn't get bred. And then 4.4 times 0.6, that's you know, I don't know, whatever. That's the chance that the ewes get bred for the second cycle. And then you add those two up. It should be close to 100%. It's close to 100%, right? So the ewes have every chance in the world with those 2 heat cycles. Now, I did the math on what I did, and if the ram effect happened, then the first heat and the first breeding will happen 18 days afterwards. And so that means we should be seeing lambs on the 9th, December 9th. Okay, and then a week after that, the first heat of the second group, and then a week and a half after that, we'll see the second heat, and then the second group, second heat a week after that, right? So I did have the rams on the ewes for the entire time, so they should all be bred. Now the number of ewes that were open to breeding is like about 20, less than 20. So they probably bred them all. I'm going to assume they got to them all. If they didn't get to them the first cycle, they got to them the second cycle, because there'd be probably about 10 in each group. So I probably bred all the sheep just by accident. So I should be seeing lambs on the 9th. That's what I'm thinking, okay? If I understood the article correctly and if my math is right. So, and we'll see what happens. Based on when the lambs drop, I'll be able to make estimates on what actually happened. And if I really got interested, I could use Bayes' theorem to tell you what the possibility is that this event happened versus that event. And so I can better understand what actually happened, right? But anyway, that's the news. December 9th, and the last lambs, I think January 15th, if I recall correctly. I don't remember what the last number was, but so we'll be seeing lambs throughout December and into January, assuming my math is right, okay? That was the big news that I had, guys. I can't wait to see these lambs. I was hoping to come here and see some lambs, but I didn't. Somebody was asking, are your lambs big? Oh, my mother-in-law, she's like, are your lambs big? And my wife said, yeah, they're big. And I think you could tell that they have belly on them. So they have something inside. Hopefully it's little lambs. That's what I'm hoping it is. We'll see. This one's definitely pregnant. This one right here is definitely pregnant. Look at the udder is big. Remember I was looking at Blue 2 years ago. We were in the back 20. I was looking at Blue and I'm like, why are your teats like they're sticking out because they're so tight, right? Like, are you sick or something? And the next day she had a calf, and that's why, because her udder was getting ready to give that colostrum to that new calf. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to keep my eye on, move them twice a day. Enjoy the warm weather while it lasts, and you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.